Hi, this is just a short video as an introduction to two videos that I've made today, which I've decided to title Dare to Have Faith. Okay, Dare to Have Faith. And the second of those videos, it is quite long, it's over an hour, but the information that I'm sharing is really important, and I know it's off the cuff and it's not presented in a book and I'm not a professional, but regardless, I'm a survivor in this world and I've had some very, very profound experiences. They are very unusual. It has meant that I have not been able to live what is considered a normal life. I have got important information and insights and guidance to share. I'm sharing those for the benefit of humanity, not in order to promote myself or to enrich myself in any way or make any claims about myself as somebody, you know, extra special or important. I'm special in the fact that I survived, and I am a living testimony, I suppose, to the reality of the light that Jesus shared, that Prophet Muhammad shared, that Prophet Isaiah shared, that all the amazing men and women of our history have shared throughout their lives. People like Martin Luther King, for example, Gandhi. You know, there's so many people, so many males and females who have shared this knowledge, this understanding, and it is very, very important. And because I have that light, because I have the benefit of that light, I am able to see through the crap of this world. It's a thin veneer in front of me. I understand what is going on, and I also understand that far, far too many people remain as yet hidden behind a web of confusion and deceit and lies, and people are ensnared in that, and they are behaving in ways and supporting the kind of people that actually are their enemy. They are persuaded to believe their enemy is their best friend. And there's also a lot of good people in this world who also are sharing insights but are very, very much marginalised. They're not being given the credibility that they deserve and need, you know. So, you know, like I say, people like Abby Martin, people like Ken O'Keefe, people like Chris Hedges, the mainstream is not picking up on them. And, you know, the mainstream is the general public. I know we think of the mainstream news and a mainstream narrative. Well, it's about time the mainstream got real. Because a stream, a river needs rocks. It needs a bed, a solid bed to travel along. And at the moment, I'm sorry, it's a pure fabrication. The mainstream is running on pure fabrication. And we've witnessed now, regardless of what anybody thinks about the sexual assault allegations against Judge Kavanaugh, at the end of it all, we are nonetheless left with a known perjurer, somebody who's committed perjury on oath. A judge repeatedly, okay, committed perjury. That's a known. Time has told us that. So he is placed as Supreme Court judge, Supreme Court justice, and within a couple of days, now we have, the gloves are off now. Be aware, this is the level of insanity of what we're dealing with. Please do not dismiss it, casually dismiss it. This is not something you can ignore, people. People of the world, especially people of America, because you're in the thick of it. This is not something we can ignore. This is really serious. This isn't something for having a laugh about. Okay? It's alright to have a laugh at a fool making wild statements in the street. You can have a laugh about that person. You can casually dismiss that person. Oh, it's a fool. But when that fool is the President of the United States, this is serious. This is actually war. We're talking about a war against our sense and sanity. Okay. So I'm just going to play you this clip, which is from MSNBC, and it's a really interesting piece of news actually, and I'll leave you the link to it. So just listen, is all I suggest.
Every single Democrat in the U.S. Senate has signed up for the open borders, and it's a bill. It's called the Open Borders Bill. What's going on? And it's written by, guess who? Dianne Feinstein.
There's no bill by that name, Mika.
It just doesn't exist.
There's no bill by that name.
And the audience
There you go. There's no bill by that name. It just doesn't exist. He's lying. A blatant lie. This is the President of the United States, a month before the midterm elections, out in public at one of his rallies, and he's just told everybody at that rally, and actually the world at large, a pack of lies about a bogus bill called Open Borders. Now there's a lot of people in America who will hear that and they'll believe him. And all the people saying, look, this bill doesn't exist, it isn't real, he's just made it up, he's just lied to you, they'll say, no, no, you're giving us fake news. This is really blatant now. The gloves are off, aren't they? He's got his lying judge in at the Supreme Court. There he is out on the stage telling as many lies as he likes, because he knows that he's got a liar there ready. He's got a liar at his back in the Supreme Court. That's why it's so serious. That's why what I'm sharing is so serious. I ask you, please, don't judge me. Lose the judgments. Yes, there's plenty of judgments anybody could cast against me. I've lived with judgments all my life, from being a child. I know what it's like to be an unwanted child. Okay? That's why I support women's rights to autonomy. I know what it is like to have a mother that did not want me. It isn't something that I would wish on anybody. I know how important it is to have happy mummies and daddies. Educated, sane, respectful, respected mummies and daddies. Not people who are cast on the scrap heap as losers because they haven't got loads of money. In a society where it's actually impossible for everybody to have lots of money, because the whole society is designed to keep masses of poor people at the bottom, a thin veneer of a middle class, and from there ultra rich. And that's why I've made these two videos, because what I'm sharing, I'm sharing knowledge of the universe, of light being. I'm sharing a perspective, an accurate perspective of what is going on in our world today, and how people are being played, and how the mechanisms are working, and I've shared those things as a means to liberate people. And it is up to the people of this world, either will have faith in the intelligence that I am sharing. It's not my personal intelligence, it's intelligence. It's there for everybody. For some reason, the universe showed itself to me in its personification of light being. But what can I say? You know, it's been 26 years that I've had to live with this. That I've had to go through the judgments, question my sanity, listen to all sides, to take everything into account, to try my best to know the difference, to know both good and bad, to know what is good, to know what is bad, to know why it's bad, to know why it's good, to understand, to be liberated from the judgments. Okay? And I am tired of being ridiculed, I'm tired of being ignored, I'm tired of being judged. Just accept the intelligence and live with it. Thrive on it. Because I tell you, we're not thriving right now. The only people who are thriving are the likes of him and his lies. Do I hate him? Do I hate his supporters? No. I pity him. And them, I'm very concerned for. Because he's going to let them all down. I know that he loathes them. I know that he looks on them with contempt. The same way the slave masters look on their slaves with contempt, even though the slaves are doing everything for them, even though the slaves, in spite of their slavery, nonetheless show some kindness, genuine kindness to their slave masters, but still the slave master looks on them with contempt. And there he is. Now, if he was such a great person, if he was such a fantastic person, why would he need to lie to the very people that have showed up at his rally, the very people who vote and support for him? Why would he need to lie to them? Unless he wants to control them with those lies. Unless he wants to feed into their fears. See, them Democrats, you better stand by me, because them Democrats are going to open the borders. A new policy, open borders. He knows that that's going to drive them into a frenzy. That's feeding on the very fear he knows got him elected. Build that wall, build that wall, lock her up, lock her up. So, yeah, she's been locked up, hasn't she? The woman of American society. She's been gagged. You know, people are talking about, oh, Paul Kavanagh, he was judged guilty before he was proved innocent. That's not the way the law works. Oh, okay then. So we'll judge Dr. Ford then guilty of lying then, before she's been proved innocent. Because there's been no investigation to prove her innocent. In a sexual assault allegation, either party could be guilty or innocent. That's the fact of it. One party could be guilty of lying out of malice. The other party could be guilty of lying in order to avoid facing the consequences of their criminal actions. So either party can either be guilty or innocent, can't they? Either the person making the accusation is a malicious liar, in which case they're guilty, or they are a genuine victim of crime perpetrated by the accused. So therefore, they're innocent, aren't they? An innocent that has been wrongfully attacked has suffered a crime. At the same time, the accused could be guilty of committing the crime, in which case he is committing perjury by denying it. Or they could be innocent of committing the crime. So by claiming that Justice Kavanaugh is actually, was wrongfully judged guilty before being judged innocent until proven guilty, what's actually happened is that Dr. Blasey Ford has been judged guilty without being proved innocent, hasn't she? She's been judged guilty. She is not presumed innocent, is she? She's presumed guilty. Because in order to presume him innocent, then you must presume her as guilty. And nobody can say, oh, well, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that I think she's got the wrong guy. No, you cannot say that, because there's not a shred of evidence on the table to even suggest that, apart from some hoax story that got put out there by somebody that was instantly slammed down. So the idea now is that with just Judge Kavanaugh now being made Supreme Court judge and everybody saying, no, and that Senator, was it Collins, stood up saying, oh, but I have to stick by the law of presuming innocence before guilt, and that's a very important point of law. Well, I presume, looking at the evidence on the table, including the factual evidence of the therapist notes and the disclosure given there and the damages recorded in keeping consistent with the allegations, I presume that Dr. Christine Blasey Ford is innocent. Okay? She's innocent of delivering malicious accusations against Judge Kavanaugh. And there's various other witnesses have come forward that support her testimony in regards to his character and his attitude towards females. And Christine Blasey Ford does not have a track record of lying on oath. On the other hand, Judge Kavanaugh does have a track record of lying on oath. He is a known perjurer. He lied to the Senate about his drinking, about the meaning of certain things that were in his yearbook. And the FBI investigation, well, it wasn't an investigation, was it? It was just a bit more in-depth background check. And it wasn't even that, because what kind of investigation can be done? In how many days did they have ultimately? What, 4 or 5 days? No, this is a sham. And straight away, here you go. You've got the liar now coming out with full-on, outright, blatant lies. That's serious. That is serious. That when we think of President Clinton being impeached, and as I say, I'm no Democrat supporter, I am no lover of the Clintons, but when I recall that man being impeached because he said I did not have sex with that woman when he did, and here we have... Now, that had nothing to do with controlling the voting public's minds to get them to vote for him, did it? Apart from he doesn't want the public to think that he's been having affairs behind Hillary's back. It doesn't look good on him. But he's told lies to his audience here and to America at large. He has told outright, blatant lies in order specifically to get votes, to get people to vote on false information. This is the man who's going on about fake news. And they're riding on their lies. And all you people say trailing on the coattails, let go now, because I tell you, when you're up in the air and the truth hits, it is a long way down. And those up highest will hit hardest. Stand away from the lies now. Get with reality. And to the people that know what's going on about his lies, to you people, I say take strength. That's why I've made the 2 videos that I shared below this one. Take strength. Believe me. Believe the survivors. Believe that there's hope. Believe that there is a higher intelligence. There is more to life than this world dares to acknowledge. This consciousness, this ruling, lying cult that's ruling humanity right now, it's time for it to end. We can't make it end with violence and hate. It ends when we stop believing it and we start believing in what we know, in reality, in the truth, which just happens to be fantastic, the beautiful truth, because there are many truths in this world, but there is also the truth of what actually created this planet and created us. You're talking eons of time. And the likes of him would like to screw it all up and throw it away. Like an orange, we squeeze the last drop of juice from it and throw it away. And no, we need to stop this madness, because these, as I say, we are talking here, toddler brains in adult bodies. They look very smart. They have got lots of money, but you're talking toddler brains in adult bodies. Nobody allows a toddler to run the household. And it's not just him. He's got an army. He's playing a game. He is playing a character. This is a performance. That's what he is, a performer. It's all come out, hasn't it? His business stuff. He had to keep running to Daddy to bail him out, because he couldn't even profit off a casino. Because he was too busy showing, performing, giving his show. Constantly, you know, more decorations. The show must go on, no matter how much it costs, no matter how much you have to borrow. And so, you know, this is why I have shared this here. And this is why I'm making this introduction video for the other 2 videos. I mean, it's even gone on, this one's gone on longer. Because it is so important. It is so important that people wake up, get real, and as I say, take courage, find the faith. Believe in yourself. Believe in what I'm explaining to you. You know, there is more. There is more to this world, and I've explained it in the 2 video links below. Please get with it. Start picking up on reality. And it is one of the reasons, you know, I haven't shown my face or things like this, because I'm not promoting myself. I'm promoting ourself, our true self, our true human being. And it is a beautiful thing when you get with your true self and you actually make friends with that beautiful universal light being that's just there waiting. And this whole world has contrived to deny us that right, to disconnect us from ourselves, to make us believe that no, No, this is the gold you need to follow. Look, our physical gold. The people who've got all the physical gold. Follow them and their law of might equals right. Their physical law in the physical universe. Because we're not spiritual, thoughtful consciousnesses as well, are we? Anybody who think it was the physical gold wrote our DNA when it wasn't, it was the light. Quantum energy. Golden light energy. That's the true gold. Not this physical stuff. As the South Americans, ancient South Americans called it. Excrement of the gods. It's excrement. Are you going to keep following the excrement people? Well, apparently, according to this world, I'm excrement. And so's everybody who hasn't got $1 billion. As I say, there's a lot of information I've shared in those videos. A lot of it's really hurtful knowledge of, you know, the crimes that have been committed in our name. And these are not the days now for sitting by and having a laugh about what's going on. This is very, very, very serious. And so, you know, to all the people who take time to listen, who don't judge me, and who can pick up on what I'm saying, thank you. And thank you on behalf of our planet.